Welcome back, guys, gals, and MB pals. Today, for part 2 of building Twilight Princess in Minecraft, I'm going to be building the first half of Ordon Village. Grazzy and Tobi, my inspiration to take on this project, will once again be linked in the description. With that said, let's get into it. As you can see over here, I put chickens under the ground so I could put leads on the fences. In the previous episode, I made the mistake of saying this was based on the GameCube and Wii U version, forgetting that the save file I'm building off of was in Hero mode. So yes, this is the flipped version of the game from the Wii. I started to build the fence that leads up onto the hill on one side of the path to the village, but upon looking at the game again, I realized I'd started the hill too early, so I took it out. After outlining the hill, correctly this time, I finished the fences that go up on top of it. I then used World Edit to fill in the signed concrete blocks to the actual blocks that I was using for the hill. I copied and pasted my tree that I had used earlier, but once again, I'll probably be coming back to this once I'm better at building custom trees. Next, I began to build up the wall on the other side to the path to the village. This is when I realized a lot of Ordon Village is going to be really annoying to build because I had started my map at the level of Ordon Ranch, which is on a hill. And at this point, I'm just hoping that it's not at a higher height level than Hyrule Field. Anyway, I extended the walls on the ramp path down to the village from the ranch. Then, I once again replaced them with the blocks I was going to be using for the actual walls. Now that the walls were built, it was time to cover them with moss. I decided to switch out the basalt in the walls for mossy cobblestone because these hills are lighter and greener than the ones around the ranch. Next, I formed out the slight curve and slope of the path down to the village. Unfortunately, there aren't really any transition blocks between grass and path, so the best I could do to stop the beginning of the path from looking abrupt was to line it up with the ledge. Next, I built the arch at the end of the path. This one gave me a bit of trouble, but I ended up getting it. Now now for the beginning of the long process of excavating Ordon Village. Assigned to the ranch went through a few different stages throughout the building of the village. I eventually ended up putting a Unicode arrow on it. Next, on to building Mayor Bo's house. This I struggled with because at first I attempted to build a pentagon, but then I realized it would be impossible to actually build the pentagon shape of the house in Minecraft on such a small scale and still make it look good, so I ended up just making it a square. And here's the part that I forgot to set to 8 times speed in replay mod. This moment, I was very glad I updated to 1.20 because bamboo trapdoors are perfect for many decorations around Ordon. Unfortunately, I didn't have nearly enough room in Mayor Bo's house to do it justice in terms of the detail it has in the game. Building the roof was tricky, because it's one color on the inside, but it's a different color on the outside. Next, I built Mayor Bo's basement, where you go to sumo wrestle him to get the iron boots to fend off the extremely territorial Gorons as you make your way up to the second dungeon of the game. At first, I ended up building this a block too high to be able to fit everything in it. I began to build the roof to Mayor Bo's house, starting with warped planks but eventually switching to crimson planks to better match the color. I built the hill that goes up around the house. This is something I definitely want to work on off camera because it did not come out very well at all. Next, I built the boxes that Link actually uses to climb up onto the hill so that he can get up on top of the house to get a few rupees. Once again, another terrible custom tree. Not much here to talk about. More excavation to continue the borders of Ordon Village. I put 2-block tall moss right here so that you can't jump onto it, because if you try to jump onto it in-game, then it actually activates the slippery slope physics to stop you from getting out of bounds. Like I said earlier, I'm replacing the warped planks with crimson. Ordon Village tends to have really small pumpkins, so at first I tried using orange candles for them, but orange candles, despite being small, they were actually way too small, and so I still ended up just using regular pumpkins with green candles on top for the stems. Now, it's time to start working on the river that flows through most of the village. If I remember correctly, this is one of the very few rivers in the entire game that is not sourced in Zora's domain. Next, time to work on the little corner where Russell, Yulia, and Colin's house is located. Tried a couple things for the flowers around the village, but ended up just doing the pink petals because I couldn't figure out how to raise them up at all. unlike Mayor Bo's house, I was able to successfully build Russell, Yulie, and Colin's house off the axis. I ended up using wooden planks because I couldn't find anything else to use for the logs that they used to block the draft. First, the roof seemed like it would be hard, but it actually ended up being pretty easy. Once again, the scale is too small for me to be able to build the interiors too well. I used rooted dirt for the soft soil that Wolfling crawls through at the beginning of the game. I extended the river out to where I was going to be ending off part 1 of building the village. All I could think of while building this pumpkin patch was Jaggle saying, "Yo, stop wasting food." There's me using bedrock command syntax and filling the area with grass instead of grass blocks. This is when I realized I should use Unicode arrows for the sign. That'll be the end of the video. Hopefully I can get episode 3 out in a reasonable amount of time, unlike this one.